Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone. How are you doing today? Hmm? How are you doing today? It's Sunday. Fun day, Sunday. How many times do we say that? Sunday, fun day. I hope you all have had a great weekend and you're preparing for this week. We have a really good week. Actually, this is my last full week of lives on this challenge. I'm just like, but today is 22 of my life challenge, my journey to co-parenting. And I tell you, it's been a privilege to be able to do this for you all. And I was just thanking God earlier just how he has revealed some things to me and just allowed me to move into this space. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know until you take action. And then that's when God can really move in your life and you will see what has already been predestined. So, for all of you all who don't know me, my name is Tiffany Newton. I'm a master certified health and life coach. And I've been in the mental health space for the past couple of years, but I ventured into the co parenting space um, here recently. And it has truly been a blessing to be able to speak into your life and hopefully um, really show you how much God loves you and loves your children and just love people in general. But I help co-parents establish and maintain healthy relationships with one another so they can raise emotionally healthy children without experiencing long-term communication issues using my child first method. Now I have been on really talking about the child first method over the last couple of weeks, and we have been diving into the components of the child first method. And we have kind of compared the child first method to a vault. And the combinations to that vault have been the ingredients or the components of the child first method. And what's inside that vault is our emotionally healthy child as well as our healthy co-parenting relationship. So all these things that we want for our lives, or we should want for our lives, because we want peace and we want our children to have peace. Thank you so much for joining. Um, it is in that vault, and in the child first method also encompasses that. So my focus is always going to be the child and what's in the best interest of the child. So everything we discuss is going to go back to that and it's going to encompass that. So can we agree that that should be our focus? Yeah, I think so. And hey Tony, thank you so much for joining. So we're going to dive into today, and as you know, in the child first method, we've talked about communication. Thank you so much for joining. We've talked about honoring the other parent's role involved in communication. We also talked about partnership and collaboration. We've talked about involvement with the child. And this week, we're going to go into letting go of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. So we're trying to figure out today, how do I let go of my ex? How do I let go of my ex? And when I was thinking about, okay, what did I do to let go? And of course, when we're talking about letting go of your ex, we're talking about how do we separate our ex partner from the parent? So we're needing to let go of the ex-partner, who that person was to us, and embrace who they are to the child, because that's our focus. Our focus is the child. So, in order for us to do that, we have to consider two beliefs. And we have empowering beliefs and we have limiting beliefs. And we all know what empowering beliefs are. That's self explanatory. But we're going to dive into limiting beliefs. And letting go of your ex, it starts with limiting beliefs. Now, with these two types, the limiting beliefs are judgments about yourself, what you think to be true that restricts you in some kind of way. So think about that. Limiting beliefs are judgments about yourself. What are you saying about yourself that you think to be true? Because you've said it over and over in your head, and it restricts you in some kind of way. I mean, this can go into all kinds of areas, not just the co-parenting space, but since we're in this space, that's what we're going to talk about today. And just remember now, these beliefs, they don't always have to be about yourself. They could also be about how the world works, ideas, and how you interact with people. Remember, I've said in the past, who we are, how we relate, how we see the world, it comes all from our experiences, how we were raised, and our belief system. So when we're embracing this new idea, this new way of co-parenting, if it's something that we're not used to, we have to reprogram the way we think, especially when we know it's going to be in the best interest of our child. So, who is impacted by our limiting beliefs? And as parents, the primary person or persons are our children. So, how has limiting beliefs impacted how you see healthy co parenting? I've been talking about this for the last 21 days. You even had guests that have come on and they've talked about healthy co parenting and their views on that. So, how have you thought about that throughout this time? I just want you to come from it from an angle of curiosity, not of a place of judgment, because remember, limiting beliefs, it can be judgment. So we want to relate this to curiosity. You want to say, what am I thinking there? Or why do I think like that? We want to be curious about it. So let's discuss 5 different examples. Of course, I can always come up with a little bit more, but we have limited amount of time today. But I kind of want to give you some examples of limiting beliefs. And, and in discovering your limiting beliefs, think about the things you would like to achieve, but aren't currently working towards. Yes, we're talking about co parenting, but it can also impact the way you show up as a healthy co parent. So as we're discussing, thinking about, as I'm talking, think about that. And if you think of something, feel free to put it in the chat. So are you working towards healthy co-parenting? And consider looking at the justification that you would find for not doing this. Remember, we're gonna be looking at it from an area of curiosity. And this justification is usually in the why of the sentence. So this is going to be good. This is going to be good. It's always fun I don't know, it's fun for me when I I'm like, why? Because that's what children do when they're young. We can't stand it sometimes, especially like, why? 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 But that's what we're doing today. We're going to find out why. Why do we do this? So, the first example of limiting beliefs and how to let go of your ex, we're going to think about this belief. This is a belief that some co parents think of now. We can never get along. We can never get along. Why do you think that? Why do you think co-parents have thought that? And they might believe that, their past conflicts, disagreements, they're just insurmountable. That it's just too big to overcome. And when you're thinking about this too, are you think about it from the point of how they've been your partner or how they've been the parent? So this particular, we can't never get along, that leads them to believe that they can establish a healthy relationship with one another because they're like, okay, we can't never get along. So another one is we have never been able to communicate, or our communication will always be difficult. We think that, or some people think that. Why do you think they think that? Because their communication, that might have been a reason why they divorced or the reason why they broke up, because they couldn't relate as husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. So, co-parents, they believe that no matter what they do, they will always struggle to communicate effectively and that they may attempt to improve, but it's just going to be pointless. It's not going to be worth it. Let's see what you say, Tony. Because it's been in the past, right? Right. And so those experiences that you have, it has limited your belief that anything could be different in the future. It's proof. It's proof that okay, this has happened, so it's going to be like that. But it's limiting. It's limiting your belief system. The next one is, please forgive my dog for barking in the background because I know you hear him. The next one is, my ex will never change. He'll never change. I know I've said that. I've said that recently. He'll never change. But we keep that from allowing us to think positive things because that's a limiting belief. And that might just be in one particular area that we think that they won't change in. And it assumes that the other parent is incapable of personal growth and positive change. And it makes it challenging for us to work together towards a healthier relationship because we're constantly seeing them in the light of, "Ugh, he always been like that. He always gonna do that. Oh, I know what he gonna do with that." And you know what? He might. But it also limits our beliefs. It limits what could happen in the future. So if that person does strive to make some changes, just little changes, and of course, those things take time, especially when we've been with someone forever. All we're seeing is who that person is, who that person always been. So until they actually, give us some time to see, we're going to always see them the way they are, and we're not going to give them any slack because this is how they been. So, two more. How about, I should be the primary decision maker of my child? I know a lot of us mothers think that because we've been the primary for the most part even in our marriages or our relationships. We handle, school, we handled doctor's appointments. We handle a lot because that's what we do as moms. So and when we're broken up and they're not in the home anymore, we're like, okay, why shouldn't I be the primary decision maker? The only problem with that limiting belief is that he's still the father and he still has a right to have some say into his child's life because we didn't make our child by ourselves, and especially if they want to be involved. So we do struggle to let go of the idea that one of us should be more authority or control over decision making process. And of course, it leads to power struggles because, he's like, it's my child. I mean, why didn't you tell me? Especially if it's something that's huge, if the child um, has had some kind of medical issues um, or is going through something, or if they want to decide to play a sport, or I mean, it can be anything. It could be something small, it could be something big, but you decide, or if some co-parents decide to just handle it and not even, and you, of course, you think it to yourself, well, they're with me 28 days out of the month because you only allow them to see you. You're strict to the order that he can only see them 4 days out of the month. So you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna be making all the decisions. He doesn't need to be involved because he's not here. Curiosity. Just think of it from an air of curiosity. So the last one I want to mention is I can't trust my ex. I can't trust my ex. And I will say again, is this a limiting belief based upon I can't trust my ex partner or I can't trust him as a parent? It could be one, it could be both. But that limiting belief, that lack of trust, it can be a significant barrier to effective co parenting. And this can limit, or I should say, this belief, it can lead to constant suspicion and difficulties with working together because you're constantly going to be thinking, hmm, does he really? Especially if he did something to you in the breakup. If he cheated or it be just you're gonna be like you gonna be suspicious of everything. He just want to be there for his child. He might not even want you anymore. He just want to be there for his child, but you're gonna be suspicious, and you'll make it difficult um, to work together with him. So I just want you to look at it from an air of curiosity. See, if you heard how other parents think, co-parents think, and if you might have thought those things, because I know I identified myself in some of these, you know, just look at it from an air of curiosity and ask, okay, why do I do that? So now, as a reminder, in order to let go of your ex, we have to separate what or who they were to us as a partner to what and who they are to our child. And we'll dig more into this week because we're going to talk about letting go. But this is kind of an introduction to that. But I wanted you to kind of identify yourself and where you are. And I want to leave you with this statement from Gandhi. I think it's probably one that you all have heard, but it's just so good. But your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. And you see, it all begins with your beliefs, your thoughts. So if you want peace, and I believe we all do, remember it starts with right thinking, right thinking. So I hope you've really gotten something out of today's live, day 22. If you have, please put some butterflies in the comments for me. I love butterflies. And I thank you all so much for joining today. And if you're seeing this on the replay, please hashtag replay and give me a butterfly. Let me know. I would love to see that. And if you do not follow me, please follow me. I'm on Instagram at I am Tiffany D. Newton. I'm on Facebook at Tiffany D. Newton. And I also have a Teach Me tribe of men and women as a non-judgmental space. We can come together and talk about anything and everything. We have different events throughout the month. And then we also have a YouTube channel on YouTube. It is at Teach Me Tribe as well. Thank you so much for the butterflies, Tony. And thank you again for joining. And I will look for you all tomorrow at day 23. It's crazy. Day 23. But until then, I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.